Have you ever wondered what it's like for folks who can build in no-code tools? Well, I'm really excited to say that we're starting this new series with the idea that there are so many incredible people building amazing products inside of Airtable, Softr, Make, Zapier, etc. And we want to start showcasing what's possible with these tools. So in this particular video, I'm going to be sitting down with Sebastian and learning about how he's offering automation services to his clients, and most importantly, taking a look at some of the amazing things that he and his team have built. So if that's of interest, stick around and let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Gareth Pronovost. I'm the owner at Gap Consulting, where I make it my mission to save you up to 20 hours of your time every week with no-code tools. Now, before we get into the actual video, if you're wondering where you can learn more about how to leverage the power of no code, the best place to start, in my opinion, is with automation. The benefits that you're going to get from automation are incredible because you can build processes that work in the background and automate all those repetitive tasks that you do. You build the automation once and it does it for you time and time again. The best place to start is to sign up for my free training. You can check it out at garethpronovost.com/webinar-registration and learn the basics, the fundamental building blocks of no-code automation. But without further ado, let's hop into the heart of this video where we are talking to Sebastian so that you can get to know all the amazing things that he and his team have been up to. Welcome. I am here with Sebastian. He is the co-founder and CEO of wemakefuture. Hi, Sebastian.
Nice to meet you, Gareth. Cool to be here.
Hey, absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. We were just talking a bit before we hit record about all the fun things that you and your company are up to. So I'm sure that everyone here on our channel is going to get a lot of fun information. But do you want to give just a quick background about what you guys do at wemakefuture?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So we're focusing on being one of the world's leading automation agencies. And well, automation is like the back end, the kit of a company, but user needs user interfaces and needs user databases. Well, you don't need like a Mongo or an SQL. And we're like, what's Sebastian talking about? A lot of times you can go with Airtable, which is an amazing tool, or you can go with Softr based on Airtable as a front end. And we have some use cases to share. We can walk through how you can automate them and how you can really scale this up to bring your business onto a Softr and Airtable platform.
Yeah, super cool. Obviously, we do a lot of front-end builds in Softr as well. And there are some limitations, unfortunately, with Airtable's interfaces. With any tool, really, there are limitations. And I'm excited to see some of the stuff that you guys have built. Now, are these examples that you're talking about here, are they things that you've done personally for your internal tools, or are these things that you've done for clients?
We have done them for clients. I can talk about two cases. Today we have done way more, but it's not that we can talk about it. And yeah, it's most of the time external things. Because of internal tools, we usually use Airtable directly.
Right, understood. I mean, Airtable, the big limitation of it for anybody who's not experimented with it just yet is that, when you share access to your database, you're giving it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
They get to see everything. Usually this is okay for internal purposes, but when it gets to external tooling, I've experienced the same thing. So, yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, exactly. What's the first example that you've got drawn up for us?
Yeah. Well, the first example is something really, really emotional and really nice. Where low code, no code, and automation performed so well together. As you probably know, we're currently in a tough time in Europe. A lot of people are losing their homes. A lot of people became refugees from one day to another, and they had to flee Ukraine. So we have one client that picked us up and said, yeah, we need a solution yesterday. We have 1,000 people coming by the day, their families, their people looking for homes. And we went to Airtable, we went to Softr, and we went to Integromat that day, or Make nowadays. And we asked them, hey guys, can you support us? Can you give us tools for free? can we build basically a refugee database and a refugee matching to hosts portal with Softr. And that's super, super cool because, first of all, it serves a real life purpose. And second of all, it is built super fast. It's solid. It scales to the purpose they need currently. Maybe one day they need to change it. But it is a solution where you can say, I did something for the world, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. So what is the problem that you're solving here? Obviously, I think everybody understands what the refugee problem looks like coming out of Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
Are you helping find jobs for these, displaced people? Are you helping them just find shelter, or what is this front end helping with?
I can show you the guide. Basically, it is a record for the refugee database. And who wants to check it out? Let me share my window. There we go. It's from a client of ours, Compux, and they built this refugee database. And so they're basically, it is really like the logic happens behind the curtain, and we did not put any time into front end because it is really straightforward. You go in here, you have two options. You are either refugee or you want to apply to be a host. So since if I log in now as an admin, I will see user data. I cannot log in, but you can check out the video what if you're interested into it. So what does it basically do? You have people fleeing a country, needing home and shelter. So with people on the other side filling out forms, yeah, I would provide 5 homes, I would provide food, I would provide an apartment, and all the people providing houses or apartments, they get stored in an Airtable, and they can be matched to refugee. And yeah, this is what we did at Match. That's why we call it matchcomplex.org. And it has been basically built within 5 days with low code, no code, with Airtable, Make, and Softr. The hardest part was actually getting everything together that fast and getting the developers. I think I will never forget. It was Friday or Thursday evening, and like I said to the developers, the guys, doesn't matter if you work the whole weekend with double pay. Doesn't matter. Let's build it, and they build it on Softr, and
I
that's
love
really
that.
cool.
This is the power, and it's funny because I was actually going to ask you this very question, and you already beat me to it. I was going to say, how long did it take you to do this? Right?
Yeah.
How
It was like
5
the
days.
first real work. Yeah, and I mean, we come from classical software development, and we're still building some of our things on classical software development because we needed either like 500,000 users, super scale, or what we sometimes need is real complex workflows or real complex interfaces where you have nice signups and things like that. I mean, if you need these things, there is React. React.js, cool, no question. But if you need just a front end or user portal, or you want to have a nice Stripe checkout, or you want to build like a marketplace, or what we do currently, it's yet not ready, but it's also really cool. We're building like a blueprint for coaches where they can be where they can sell their courses and services, and they can just use it as a blueprint for every of their companies. And it's going to be for one of the biggest coaching federations around the world. So there's probably also a case for Softr where 10,000 coaches can reuse it.
Right.
And that's amazing because they cannot get that customizationable tool into a WordPress or into some other tools, or if they do it, it's super expensive when they use standard tools.
Right. Yeah, I remember when I started my journey as a business owner, 4 years ago, putting together a WordPress site and having to pay for every little plugin that I was adding in. It's like an extra $30 a month over here because I wanted to, add some feature.
Yeah, exactly. And it bugs. If you whoever had a WordPress system with like 40 plugins and you have a plugin for a plugin that helps a plugin, it's going to be a nightmare. And that is also one thing. And that's why we decided mid of 2021, so literally 1 year ago, we took the management decision, let's go full serverless and let's go full SaaS. So before we had some tools running on servers, we had some local things. we cut them all. We're full now Webflow. We're full serverless. We don't even have Docker. We don't want Docker files. We just want real serverless. Or in other words, I let someone else handle the Kubernetes, Docker, or server stuff. For all the people I just lost here, it is just saying, literally, if you go for an Airtable, Softr, or Make, you will never get a headache that the server or the web page or something crashes because some big elephant stood on something which crashed. It is like that, right?
That's right. That's right. And that's a pain that everyone who's used, the last generation of tools knows all too well.
Knows. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. But we have, I agree. I've not experienced that either, right? Using these tools, I've never experienced this kind of a problem.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you have some things like remember last year there was some downtimes with Airtable. But I always used to say, who do you trust more? Do you trust more servers of Amazon, Google, Microsoft, or do you trust the servers of a company running like maybe 10 web pages and doing that occasionally? Like, I would go with the big ones,
Right. Exactly.
They're having 200 people maintaining it. Same goes for Airtable. They have a bunch of people supporting their tool and making it better by the day. You cannot compete with that by just buying some random WordPress theme or file because of somebody just probably coding it with 2 people and it crashes after 2 years.
Yeah, this is an interesting point you bring up, because this is something that I think is going to happen long term with the front end solutions as well. So we've seen a number of different front ends enter the space, and some leaders are starting to take shape. Softr, I think, is probably one of them. I think you'd agree. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be using them. How do you see that landscape shaping over time? Do you think that these companies like Softr are going to be market leaders that have teams of 200 people that are running these front ends?
If I could predict the future, I would probably work in investment banking. But
same, yeah, we'd both be better off than we are, right?
But to be humble, I think the whole software market is going to change a lot. You will see, of course, the same amount of development, but a lot of standard development will be packed in these tools.
Right.
So you will have basically like a piece of snippet for the functionality which you cannot replace, or which is your own custom logic, and then for the rest you're going to use these tools and you can rely on them. So you only have to provide the centerpiece of your service, and the rest you can outsource. So therefore, I totally agree on the hypothesis that one day you will have leading tools, and one of that might be definitely Softr. The biggest, like, regarding the risks or dependencies I can see is a lot of these tools are currently focusing on Airtable only, or on Google Sheets only, if like Clyde or something like that. I think they need to widen up. That's like the idea like Retool does. So you can use many of the interfaces. And that's something where I see is going to be like the next big thing. Who's going to be the adopter of a lot of these user-friendly databases, and who's going to be the adopter to make it as easy fitting in your infrastructure that you can do your centerpiece of logic, and the rest will be handled by them. And then they're going to be clear industry and market leader.
And we've seen them, so many of these front ends already making that move. I know Softr's among them, where they're saying, we want to be data tool agnostic. We don't want to just rely on Airtable. So I know that there are motions behind the scenes to bring other data sources into the fold, right? But I agree with what you're saying entirely. You mentioned that you had another possible example as well. Can you share another thing that you guys built in Softr?
We have a client which is from Switzerland, and we are basically helping them to automate their training booking. And this is a typical case because you have people that need to be matched again with trainers. You have trainers that do the training with you. You can cancel the appointment because we all know life, right? Things happen. I got to go and play with my kid soccer on that day, so I cannot attend my personal training. Yeah, sure. Then let's cancel it in an app. Well, we all know these smaller companies, it is so hard that they can get a custom app where people can interact with them, and also embed like a shop and many of these things. So, well, you can do everything with this with Softr. Again, I cannot log in to not show user data, but what I can show you is I can show you basically the combination backend, which is this one. So you can automate all of that with Make. Well, here it's formerly Integromat and Softr, and you can use like a Software app. Actually, we're the guys behind the Software app. We helped Softr building it, the Make app.
Nice.
Yeah, and the Zapier one. So that's really cool. We're working close with them on these things, and you can build a lot of user logic with it, and that's amazing. Yeah.
So this app, this front end that you built, this is for a personal trainer company. Did they
have
have
many
an app
personal
before?
trainers. No, they always need the user login interface where people can book, decline, or reschedule.
Yeah.
Typical case. A lot of companies have that. It does not need to be personal training. It can be literally everything.
Right. And this goes back to what you were saying earlier, where we have these like templated pieces that fit so many use cases. So many businesses have the need for some sort of customer interaction, a portal where their customers can log in and see where things are, see their account. And this is something that comes together and you guys built in Softr.
Exactly. And the powerful software here is, for example, that these tools, which you can use as competitive tools, they charge you either flat €200 a month or $200 a month, and plus extra per user $5. And you're like, oh, come on. Yeah? Right. And if you go on a software plan, if you go on an Airtable, you get that within 24 hours, customized to your needs for around maybe $50 a month. And you have no paying per user, and that's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's game changing for the small business owner to be able to now have an app built, essentially a web app built for them that helps them run their business. Your customers know exactly what's going on from their customer experience. That is a competitive advantage as a business owner that makes your service that much better as the personal trainer or whatever it is that your business is. And you get it for $50 a month. Are you serious?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have a small account on Softr, starting account probably. You have a starting account of Make, and you just go with a like $10 version of Airtable, and you're good to go.
Right. So there are obviously a lot of different front end options out there. I'm sure you've experimented with a couple of them. What is it about Softr that has led you to start building more and more of your projects on that?
Well, the most impressive thing I've ever seen in real life support of a feature request was I was chatting with the support around 12 in the night. And it was Arthur directly, the founder of Softr. And it's like, sure, give me 1 minute. And it's like, here's the feature.
What?
Literally, the speed of feature. It was just a really tiny tweak I needed. And we had it also for the refugee project we were just talking about. We missed some features. We missed some features for the coaching things. The speed of adoption of features at Softr is insanely amazing. I've never seen such a feature pick-up driven company like they are. This is going to be their key to success.
Their ability to, I agree, their ability to listen to what their users, and especially guys like you and me, folks like you and me who are developing for clients in these apps, and being able to just say, hey, have you guys ever thought about adding XYZ feature? And then before you know it, it's there. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
and
you can promise to your client, and that's also if you're a business user. That's regarded not only from like an agency perspective, if you're a business user and you hit a limitation, which you will always do in low code and no code.
Always. There's always
you have a high. you have a high chance of getting it. I mean, we love Zapier. We started off with Zapier, but if we need a feature from Zapier regarding something, it's going to take a year because they're so big.
They're so big, it takes so long.
It takes, of course. I mean, they build a rock solid software, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's different on software, definitely.
That's a really great observation that I don't think we give enough credit to. The fact that you have a software company that's listening and putting out new features all the time is undeniably, like you said, one of their critical success factors. It's going to help them. What is aside from that feature, the ability to ask for new features? Aside from that, what is the thing that you like the most about Softr in general?
Well, what do you like the most about Softr? That's a good question. Probably the way they communicate, and again, the way they listen and interact with their Slack community, and really go on the journey with the user. I can also like the pricing; it's really fair. We're still in the old plan. We're lucky.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. If you're like, I think we're literally one of the earliest users of Softr.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we don't use the account that often, but we still use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I leave that account to my my dependents in my will because I think it's worth more than gold.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But even now, their current pricing, I think they came to understand what users needed and wanted, and then they adjusted their pricing accordingly. Obviously, they have to also be mindful of the fact that they have investors now who have certain demands. So,
yes,
unfortunately, everything can't be for free. But they still have a great free version that'll get you started pretty darn good. And I always joke with my clients that my favorite bill to pay is my automation bill because I pay it and I know that I just saved 200 hours for the price of $50, So that's a no-brainer for me. And I'm happy to pay my Softr bill as well at the end of the day. So
yeah, same.
Yeah. Well, hey, this has been really awesome getting to know you, Sebastian, and learning a little bit about what you're up to. Do you have any links that you'd like to share, or how can people come and find out more information about you and what you guys are all about over at wemakefuture?
Yeah, sure. They can just drop me a message to LinkedIn. That's where I'm the most active. And of course, if they want to know more about wemakefuture or join our fully automated customer journey to become part of an automation agency, they can just book a call with one of our team members. And yeah, that's how you can interact with us.
Awesome. Hey, we'll share some of those links below so people can reach out and connect with you. Thanks so much for participating in this, Sebastian.
Absolutely.
I hope that you got a lot out of it, and I'm sure that people are just blown away by learning what you're able to do with these tools. It's really awesome.
Yes. Thank you, Gareth. Thanks for the opportunity.
I hope you got a ton of value from this interview with Sebastian and that the wheels are spinning and you're thinking about how many different amazing things you can implement from what you learned here today. If you have questions or comments, please be sure to leave them below this video, and don't forget to check out those different links that we've shared on behalf of Sebastian where you can go learn more about what he and his team are up to. If you want to stay up to date with no code community, no code news, definitely subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video. As always, I hope you found that to be extremely helpful. If you did and you'd like to learn more, swing by our website and see how we can help. We offer a free Airtable crash course that will help you level up in Airtable quickly, and we also have some paid services, including hourly consultations with our experts. We have some online courses and a group coaching program, and for advanced needs, we can build a bespoke solution for you from scratch. So swing on by, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.